Hey, how y'all doing? It's Chubbs Aquatics. I'm back home off the boat, and I'm gonna give y'all the first look at the tanks. I just seen them, and it's pretty crazy. Y'all gonna take a look for yourself. All right, we're gonna start over here with this Bichardii tank. You can see the water's pretty low, and you can also notice I have my covers on there because usually when I leave to go on the boat, I put the covers on there to minimize evaporation. You can see over here there's a lot of algae growing on that water sprite. It's pretty much a dead stalk. That Java fern is actually doing pretty good, as you can see right there. Zoom back out for y'all, give y'all a better picture. You can see the Bichardii doing great. So that's one good thing. As long as the fish is happy, I'm happy. But I am trying to get rid of these fish. Don't get me wrong, I love them. There's nothing wrong with them. They're doing great. I just want to change up this tank, and so I'm going to get rid of them. There are, I believe there's 6 adults in here now. No, let's see, 4 adults. Yeah, there's 4 adults and the rest were born here. They kicked out 2 of the adults because I started with 8. They kicked out 2 at the beginning, and they started having babies, and then they kicked out 2 more. So now there's only 2 breeding pairs as far as I know, 2 males, 2 females, and the rest are all babies. At the time I don't see any little ones, but I'm sure they're in there. If they're not, they must have got predated on, which not being on their regular food schedule could have done that, because I usually feed them like 3, 4, 5 times a day. That's why I do 50% water changes every week, sometimes even twice a week. But that's just trying to get them to breed and trying to keep everything alive. But they're still doing good. Alright, y'all can see the Bichardii are doing wonderful. There's millions of them. I estimate be about 200. I could be wrong, but there are a bunch of them. Yeah, I'm speechless too. As y'all can see, this thing is completely overgrown. Wow. Unreal, isn't it? The growth in this tank is crazy. But I noticed one thing too. Notice how this tank is not empty. I would say that's because it's running on air filters, not hanging on the backs. That's exposed more to air. The top of this tank is locked down tight. And I would say it did a whole lot better as far as evaporation than the Bichardii tank. Yeah, it looks pretty damn good to me. Zoom in a little bit for you. Give you a little better shot of them guppies. Yeah, they're looking really good. All of them. Yep. If you can't tell, I bought a camera light. I also bought a new tripod. I also bought a microphone that I don't like. I'll show y'all that in another video. But yeah, we're just taking a look at the tanks as I found them. And y'all stand by, I'll give y'all another view from the top. Alright, let's take a look at this thing. And as y'all can see, top is completely covered with duckweed. And if y'all remember, I didn't have then hardly any on top when I left. I'll show you what a growth in a week. Look at this thing, completely choked. And Tiger Lotus is doing awesome. Look how green it's getting. But it's not in the middle of the light. I think it would be more red in the middle. You can see that little locally collected plant growing out the top right there. But yeah, it's all doing great. You can see everything is right up to the top. And that's part of the reason why this thing is dark the way it is. Because of the duckweed. It's actually might be helping. Not enough light, no algae. So, look at this shrimp. There you go. Pretty cool. They're still here. And there's Formosa. Awesome. And their guppies follow me everywhere. Begging for food, as always. But yeah, this tank is doing awesome. The plant growth is amazing. Big SAE, SEA, or whatever. Let's see. You can see the Autosynchus right there on the blue Holophilia. Yeah, everything's looking great. See this dwarf Sagittarius starting to really take in. Notice that there's no algae on it. The Crypt Parva is doing really good. See a lot of growth in it. There's a female Pleco. And I've seen some baby Plecos. They must have had a batch when I was gone. But even this corkscrew valve, almost to the top. It's definitely spreading. You see it spreading right across the front, which is pretty cool. Oh, look, there's a molly. Those are the mollies I tried to send to row. Still got one male. I believe I have a couple outside too. But this one I couldn't catch in the tank, so I just said, alright, well, you bought your freedom, so he stayed. There's what are those? The metallic blue Moscows, I think. Something like that. Mellow blue Moscows or something like that. This is one that was born here. And they are looking awesome. They're really starting to color up good. The oranges are looking awesome. And I just got some new food. And we're going to see if we can get them oranges to reds. Alright. I don't know why my phone's beeping like that. Or flashing, but pretty nuts. Yeah, everything's looking great though. Java ferns. Oh, there you go. Another baby Pleco. Little baby Pleco. Yep, we did have more babies in here. Pretty cool. Alright, let's show y'all the rest of the tanks. Well, while I got y'all in my hand, we'll just keep on rolling. You can see this is not doing good at all. See the water line is extremely low. The pump's barely running. But if I can move some of this stuff. I did see Plecos in here. I did see guppies in here. Just hope they come back. Yep, see? There's life. They're alive. Huh. Yeah, I think they're all doing fine. Once I get all the duckweed out, do a good water change, we'll really see if there's any really still left in here. Coming on down, you see these 10-gallon tanks are completely choked with duckweed and salvinia. The salvinia actually took over the top of the duckweed, which is pretty cool. And it gives a good effect too. See how thick that salvinia is getting. And this is all collected locally, right here in Louisiana. And you can see my betta right here. I believe she's a half moon. She's pretty. She's kind of beat up, probably from that one back there. For the focus. There she goes. So Bashard out at the big group kicked out. Probably why the beta's messed up. And look at this guy. Wow. He doubled in size in a week. That's my Texas blue that I caught wild. There's a puff fish. I caught him wild too. There's a guppy. She wasn't wild. But, you know, hanging out at the puff fish up there. They're all doing good. But man, that Texas blue. Boy, you've been putting on some weight. Looking good, boy. Yes, sir. His color's starting to come in. And when I got him, he was literally the size of a fry. I mean, he was T90. I actually thought he was a perch, but I'm pretty sure it's a Texas blue. Moving over here, I don't see no babies. Puff fish still have not bred. I gotta take Father Fish's advice. Get a bigger tank for him. I don't think that's gonna happen this week. Well, at least they're both still alive. I did lose 2 females out of this tank a couple weeks ago, but yeah, it happens. I don't know why, but they just died. Maybe the male beat them up too much. But all right, I think that's gonna do it. I'm still just as amazed as y'all about that plant growth. It's actually grown faster in the last 2 weeks than I've really ever seen it grow. So what that tells me is my tank is still maturing, even though I started it in February. It's coming into its prime, and I use the red fluorite and Eco Complete. Now with the Eco Complete, I had probably about a bag and a half of Eco Complete from this tank maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago. I just stayed dry in a bucket in a garage, and I bought a new bag of Eco Complete and the bag of fluorite, the red fluorite for the clay, and I mixed it all together, put it in the tank, tried to start a dry start method, and got called to work the next day. So yeah, no weeks at a time for dry start. So I just I left it, figured it wouldn't make it. I just wrapped it up as tight as I could. Gave my fiance some instructions on what to do every day, and there was a few starting to pop up after about 3 or 4 weeks. I don't even know what it was. I just bought some seeds online. And they kind of half-assed grew in, but it didn't work. So then I just flooded it and put some plants in it. The only thing that was in there for the dry start method that is still doing good is the Tiger Lotus. I did put the bulb for the Tiger Lotus in there through the dry start, and it did amazing. It started to sprout, and then once I flooded it, it really bloomed. Then it died back, and the bulb came off of the roots and started another plant. All those big leaves died off, and then they came back. So now I actually have 2 Tiger Lotuses in here, one attached to the bulb and one not, which is pretty cool. This sword started as a T90 little thing from Aquarium Co-op, and most of these plants in here are from Aquarium Co-op or LRB, Jacobs Aquatics, or locally collected, either from a fish store or from the wild. Mostly from the wild. I think this is the only plant I got from a local fish store. It's the blue hydrophilia. But these SAEs, I tell you what, they surely like to munch on some young bristlenose plecos, because I know they do. I've seen them eating them. And eating, baby. All right. Let's see. There he goes. There he is. Oh, lost him again. Let's see. There he goes. Hey, baby. Yeah, they look like he's growing up in here. He's about a week old, maybe. Yeah, he's doing good. But all right, well, let me get to cleaning, duck weeding, and filling, and Lee Wilcox. I will be making a video on how I treat my valve and my stems in this tank, just to give you an idea of what you should do with your valve. Because trimming valve just ain't like trimming a stem plant. I'm going to show you what you got to do. So let me get this video up and get the cleaning, and I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Oh, another thing we got to check. Gotta check my ponds, but that'll be later on another video. You'll just have to stay tuned and see that. What I'm trying to do is videotape a lot of stuff while I'm home, and that way I can spread it out while I'm at work. And that way y'all don't have to go a couple weeks with just seeing pictures and me talking over it. Never see actual video, because it don't work too good on the boat. It's loud, you know. They got generators and motors running all the time. But I will be getting these damn things shut off and get that water up so we don't have to hear all that water. Alright, well, like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. There will be another video today, maybe 2. We're gonna see. Alright, later.